Caught Offside with Andrew Gundling and JJ Devaney.
Oh, yes. Caught offside from just outside of New York City and from an apartment in Brooklyn, New York. Andrew Gundling, JJ Devaney. The World Cup is reaching its peak. What's up, brother?
I'm enjoying this so much. I genuinely am. I don't want it to end, but we're at the semi-final stage now.
Yeah.
There's technically 4 games left.
The third place match. Yeah.
But that doesn't, I mean...
No. Although it will, no matter who it is, it will actually be like an awesome matchup. It just won't, it just unfortunately will be sucked of all meaning. But
yeah, look, you've got you've got your big hitters. If you're one of those people, I have a guy in my WhatsApp group, one of my WhatsApp groups. By the way, we all have too many WhatsApp groups now, and nobody is more aware of the amount of WhatsApp groups that they're in than when they're at the World Cup. It's too many. Too many. And you feel as if, you know, if you're not responding in one of the groups, you get this anxiety like, oh, they think I'm above this, or I don't want to talk to them. And then the next thing you know, you have your head down in your phone and your daughter's just set the kitchen on fire. You know what I mean? Like it's too much.
I was watching Argentina and Switzerland late last night with my boys, and I put the phone away. I was just like, let's just all lock in. And it was great.
So
it was actually great. There is also a place though for the group chats. There are definitely moments, not to like slag them off. The aggressive group chat texting during a World Cup can also enhance the experience.
But
it definitely can. But you are right. There is a moment where you kind of have to smack yourself across the face and be like, watch the effing TV. Get out of your phone.
100%. This game is happening in front of you, and it's amazing. Also, if you're at a bar, you need to watch a game. You need to be super aggressive just for your own comfort. If you're going to lock in at a bar, which you can do.
Yeah.
So you have to set these personal boundaries. So you want polite enough chat to the person to the right, no chat to the person to the left. Okay? One chat option. And at best during the game you want, oh geez, I don't know about that, or a knowing look or a nod. No more than that if you're locking in.
These rules are fascinating. So you've decided the guy to the right is who you're allowed to chat with. If the guy to the left tries to engage, are you just I'm sorry, sir, I've already reached my one chat limit. I just can't.
Yeah. If they're screaming that they're being garroted to death at that moment, you turn to the person on the left and said, I'm very sorry, but I have used my chat quotient. Be well. And with the bartender, you get in with the barkeep beforehand to make sure the volume is amped. Because yesterday, I was at a place with the most amazing atmosphere. One of the most unique football watching, I'm going to do a video about it, football watching experiences you could have with Norwegian Americans. And not Americans cosplaying as Haaland. I mean actual Norwegian Americans at a Norwegian club. The only club in Norway, outside of Norway, that's recognized by their football association. This place has been there since 1911.
Where is it?
It's in Sunset Park in Brooklyn on 62nd Street, the Yoa Club. It's the soccer club I play for. And they've just this amazing history. Interestingly, US Hall of Famer Mike Windishman, obviously he was the captain of the team that beat Trinidad and Tobago in 89 and took the team back to the World Cup in 90. That's his ex-youth club. He played for
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm there and the volume is just, everyone had a great time. They were doing the roll. Nobody complained except me because I missed Cablegate. I missed Cablegate. I couldn't understand what they were talking about. And then I found out a little bit later, but I would have loved to have heard the conversation and where Zlatan absolutely toasts Madueke. It was such an unnecessary drive-by. The cable had a better half than him.
Yeah.
But
he did.
So get in with the bartender, make sure that they'll do things like absolutely crank the volume for you. Things like that. But yeah, to truly lock in, you need to have the phone away. You can't have it near you. It's a disaster.
I think this conversation is actually a really interesting one during this tournament because there is because everyone is so engaged in this, even people that aren't usually engaged in it, it has opened up soccer to like a whole other world
Yeah.
of fans in this country. Um, Similarly to you, I had my most unique viewing experience of this World Cup yesterday as well. I went to the White Plains Soccer Fest in White Plains, New York, like a small city basically in New York. And they shut down a block in the center of town, put up two huge screens, and I got to hand it to them. Screens were great.
Yeah.
You could see them. They were clear. The glare of the sun wasn't that bad. You could really see it, and the speakers were fantastic. I mean, the sound system was on point, and it's interesting. The reason I think it's a great conversation for fans is because like there is with me, like I want to lock in, but I also am a big camaraderie guy. I do think there's a place for both. I've watched most of the tournament from my couch, but there was also part of me, other than the game I went to in Philly, Ghana, Croatia, there was also a part of me of like, this tournament, I don't know when this is going to be here again. I need to experience this in a way that's unique from however I'm going to experience every other tournament.
Right.
So I went with my kids to the soccer fest, and you're right. Like it was for the England Norway game. And it is harder to lock in. There's so much going on around you at all
Yeah.
times. I'm trying to rein in Luke from like he in the second half, like he just wanted to play soccer. He was done watching it. And so I'm now kind of trying to watch him while he's playing with these other kids. So there is a lot going on. It's harder to lock in, but I very much believe that there is a place for that kind of like group atmosphere.
I
And being out in these large scale viewing parties and taking in everything that is just being around hundreds of like-minded soccer fans or even casual fans that just want to be a part of it. I think there's an equal place for I'm on the couch locked in and I'm in this weird space with all these people I don't know, but we all care and are enjoying this thing together.
I totally agree with you. You can do both, and it's nice to be out amongst people and the shared unity that this tournament has brought us, and
Yeah.
it really has, and it's great, and people on the street talking about it, etc., etc. But like, I'm a guy who, you know, the minute little things I'll talk about. Like, for
Oh,
example,
dude, the idea that you missed Cablegate, I was waiting for my phone to explode. I was like, what's he
yeah,
doing? He must be
yeah.
really busy. The fact, like you missing that, it feels so wrong. Like
Oh, it does,
that's so your kind of
but
thing, I feel like.
but catching up has been delicious. Um, amazing, but like even oh, by the way, your friend Landon, big respect to Landon.
What
You know
happened?
the little things that he notices, I also notice. Ergo, we have galaxy brain, football brains.
I've told you before, you two, I don't know what you have thought of him previously before I've gotten to know him really well. You would be friends. I truly believe the two
Wow,
of you would be friends.
put us together. Let's get out for dinner. I actually have a video I want you to send Landon from the
Okay.
2010 World Cup. Just it's just of the RTE commentary on the US,
All
and
right.
he features in it just so he can see himself being perceived from abroad. But Landon
What did he
noticed.
say? Yeah.
Oh, he's saying, oh, I got to be careful here. Is his current wife or his ex-wife? I can't remember.
I'm
But
not talking about the 2010 clip. I'm talking about from this game.
oh, sorry.
Jeez.
They mentioned
Okay.
Landon anyway in a interesting, funny way.
No, I'm talking about what did he say last night that
Oh,
makes you say this?
because he noticed on the Alvarez goal how the ball just sits up as he wraps his foot around it.
Yeah.
And like most people say, curls it, wraps his foot around it. No, the thing that gives it that oomph and takes it where it is the way it pops up that tiny little bit.
Mm.
These little things, the thoughts of missing them, just think, oh God, it gets to me. Like it gets to me. It gives me anxiety, and especially when I want to come and talk about it on the podcast. You know, the idea of missing stuff.
Yeah.
So I get anxiety. Like I was there early at the. They were setting up when I showed up. Like the president, everyone was like getting, because they had an outdoor table as well. They were
Uh-huh.
cooking food, and I show up and I just sit there at the bar. Like there's nobody else there,
Yeah.
because I didn't want any chance that I wouldn't get the best viewing spot possible for the game. So
Similarly, I found at this thing I went
you were
to.
right up front.
Well, initially there was a select few picnic benches that were perfect, and I got us one front and center in the shade about 15 minutes before kickoff, and then about 5 minutes before the game starts, Luke just can't stop. I want to go play cornhole. We got to go play cornhole, and I'm like, no, we're not losing this table. And here comes the freak out. And I'm just like, okay, he's not going to make it through this game. So either we do this now and I don't have to deal with it later, so sure enough, we get up, lose the table instantly, so he can play 90 seconds of cornhole before he gets bored. Now I brought a towel, so I just laid a towel down, and you saw where we were sitting. We were right up front, but yeah, I was in theory there early as well to try and avoid that kind of problem of not being in an ideal setting, and best laid plans. But we move, as they say. We move. Kids will throw you curveballs. They
really
you got to
will.
be ready, and you got to. I had the towel. I was like, all right, we'll just sit on this up front. Sure, it's pavement and uncomfortable, but whatever.
So how do we attack this, Andrew?
England. Let's begin with England and Norway.
Okay, let's do that.
So here's the bottom line. England are through to just their fourth ever World Cup semifinal, which
is staggering.
Considering the football nation that England is, considering the regard generally with which we hold them and their players and their league, certainly, it is an incredibly, it's almost like a, are you sure? Kind of statistic. Like, wait, let's go back and look at that. Like, you almost don't believe it. And so with that, like, look, there's a lot of game stuff to get into, undeniably. Bellingham, Cablegate, I guess that's game stuff. But I want to kind of use that statistic as sort of a jumping off point to what happened after the match with Tuchel and Bellingham.
Right.
Because there is part of me that when you hear a number like that, it's sort of just like this England, for however great they are, they just don't do this very often. So there's kind of just this feeling of just be happy, everyone. Like, England are in a semifinal.
No.
I mean, like, just take the joy.
9.
Don't care. Exactly. And here comes their own coach, Thomas Tuchel, with a big old 9. And now I will say, in fairness to Tuchel, he in his post-match comments, there are certain elements of very positive comments that he made about his teams, which specifically geared towards their mentality. I think he used a great quote. He said, mentality, this isn't about mentality. Sure, mentality, we should bottle it and sell it. Saying, like, his team's mentality is so great that's not the issue. But he then kind of...
Well, let's listen to it. Let's just
listen
to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Right.
Let's just have a quick listen. And this is the key point to what you were making about what Tuchel said, because he did say it's not a question of mentality. He's been interviewed here by Gabriel Clark of ITV, who I think produces one of the great post-match interviews. Inadvertently, I'm sure, by winding this guy up. He says it's not mentality. There's mentality. We can bottle mentality. It's not about this. Here's what he said it's about and why he wasn't happy with the performance.
We made life very, very difficult for us in the way we played, how we played. Sloppy, a lot of technical mistakes, not fast enough. Not repetitive enough. We were lucky today.
Was that the occasion? Getting to the players?
I don't know, it's
mentality thing?
No, nothing. No, it's no mentality.
Well, if you're not happy with the players?
This is pure mentality. How can you ask about mentality now? This is pure mentality. It's not about mentality.
No, I mean when the players had the problem, was that the mentality? What was it?
There's no mentality problem. This is pure mentality. This is pure mentality. You can bottle it up and sell it.
Absolutely.
So why is the problem for mentality? It's the quality of our games. That's it. It has nothing to do with mentality.
So that's the meat of it for me, really. That he wanted more repetition. So there's very clear patterns of play that he didn't see during the game. Look, England they weren't great in this game, or maybe even very good. They got through, right? But Tuchel just feels like a guy that's never watched England before, has heard that they're bad at tournaments, and has come in and said, I know how to fix this. And then when it looks exactly the same, like, it kind of didn't feel that much different maybe in a couple of areas, but generally didn't feel that much different from a Gareth Southgate performance. Like, it didn't. And it hasn't looked that way. But I'm like, this is England, Thomas. This is, at their best point, what they do. This is what they've done under Southgate in their most successful stint since Sir Alf Ramsey lifted the World Cup. This is what they do. The key difference, I think, between... I still think they're better generally than they were at Euro 2024 when they were wretched and it was a few moments got them through. I still think they're better. I'll give Tuchel credit. Like, I think the performances are better. But what you've got is this player in Jude Bellingham who, when the moment arrives, is just grabbing it. He's a force of will in that team. Himself and Harry Kane are just in brilliant form. And remind me to circle back as to why they look so good. And we've got maybe the disconsolate Declan Rice looking sunburned and pissed off on the sideline.
Okay.
Just remind me to go back to that. But my point is, I don't know what Tuchel expects here. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get better than this. I think they can beat Argentina, but I still don't think it's going to be some barnstorm. Like, what does he want?
Well, he was clear in what he wants, right? He wants the things that you just laid out, that he laid out. Like, what were the words he used? Sloppy.
I've never seen an England team do it. Maybe Euro 96.
But in his mind, what England did at Euro 96 or, in the 70, whenever. None of that has any bearing on this team.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So like I get there is history and that factors into the way we may view England at major tournaments, but he views this as this team. It has nothing. Those are different teams.
Yeah, he hits them.
Like, you can. I mean, during the match, you can hear him, and the announcers called it out during the broadcast. They said they could hear, or was it Jeff Shreves who gave the report saying Tuchel screaming for them to move faster, to speed up the play, to move the ball faster.
Yeah, and I get that. You want speed of play. If you're going to play against the Norwegian team that's going to be largely without the ball, that's going to sit in, you want quick speed of play to discombobulate them, to move them. You need to get the ball to the wingers quickly. Okay, cool, great. They're not doing it.
Also, too, you can tell me if I'm giving them too much of an out here, but like Bellingham, we should play his comments after the match too, because he was very critical of his manager, which is a whole side relationship that's very interesting to me. But Bellingham, well, here let's play that actually right now as well,
sure.
and we can kind of put the two together.
Thomas has just been quite critical of the performance after the game. Does that show the standards that he expects, the standards you guys expect of each other, and maybe that there's more to come from the team?
Maybe, but maybe he doesn't know what it's like to play in those kind of conditions against Erling Haaland, Odegaard, Nusa, Sorloth. That's not an easy team to play against. So, I think we've tried to create a positive environment. We should continue that going into the Final Four. I can't speak highly enough for the lads. You're not going to win every game popping the ball and making 1,000 passes. Sometimes you have to win dirty, and we've done that again tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
him saying maybe he doesn't know what it's like to play in those kind of conditions, and then he mentions players and things like that. Tuchel wants them to move the ball faster, speed it up, speed this up. It was if you've been to Florida before, South Florida, like, I'm sorry, mid-90s heat with 99% humidity is a factor. And I do think that asking players to do everything faster in those conditions is just hard. I kind of get what Bellingham's saying. Maybe he's never played in those conditions. I do think that there is something to be said for trying to ask everybody to do everything at optimal level in 93 degrees, 99% humidity.
It also delivers
at the end of a tournament, by the way, that they're all probably already somewhat tired from. They played in Mexico. I mean, who knows what effect the altitude in Azteca still has on them in this game? I don't know.
It's Jude Bellingham, alpha dog again. I don't think it's necessarily bad that Jude Bellingham is a leader on the field. I told you, it's so interesting what he's doing with Elliot Anderson. Remember when I said at the England-Ghana game how Bellingham was ahead of the ball, and Ghana were set in very deep, and he was like, what do they call that? A marionette, a puppeteer. He's like pointing and telling Elliot Anderson where to play the ball, into his feet, where to go, all this stuff. He's like while he's not on the ball. He's not like, pass the ball to me here. He's like, do this, do that. Did you notice after the goal, which we'll, the England equaliser, we'll talk about that. But it's Anderson that controls the ball. It's Anderson that drives forward, gives the ball to Gordon, and it's Gordon's quick ball inside and the brilliant turn. It's a fabulous goal, by the way.
Yeah.
But Bellingham runs straight to Gordon and said, that's your effing goal. That's you. That's your goal. Because he did what he wants. Like, this guy has taken over the team at a young age. Like, he's surrounding it. And now you're seeing it when he's clapping back at the manager. Mm-hmm. He knows his status. He knows his place. He is now their key player in this tournament. I was chatting with a friend who's an England supporter today. We went for lunch. He asked me to go through tournaments that we can remember and tell me the best individual performances by English players. Bellingham's is up there with Shearer's 5 goals in Euro 96. In recent times, nobody has come close to this level of performance for England. Now, he obviously had moments at the last tournament in Euro 2024. He's better generally now, and he's having even bigger moments.
He's doing it at both ends, too. Like, you see him come back defending. He's midfielder. He's a striker. Like, he's everything.
He's like Brian Robson. Our listeners are too young. I'm not. He former Manchester United captain.
By the way, we're too young, aren't we?
Yeah, we saw the. Yeah, we are too young. We don't remember him in his pomp at all. But like mid-80s, Manchester United and England. He was a record signing for United at the time. It was like, I think, $1.5 million or something. And from West Brom. And just this like Captain Marvel kind of guy who could score goals, could be box to box, could win tackles, all that kind of thing. And Bellingham is, while not exactly like that player, is almost embodying that kind of put the team on my back kind of heroism.
It's honestly amazing. We talked the other day about the image rehabilitation tour that Mbappe has been on. It's very easy to forget now that we're not that far removed, JJ, from the conversation of, will Bellingham be on this team? The way Tuchel views him, the season that Bellingham had, we were like, okay, he's good, but
how can you not start Morgan Rogers? Look at what Morgan Rogers is doing.
We're not that far removed from that. And Craig, you want to talk about image rehabilitation tours, this is as good as anything we've seen in some time.
As much as we've got a lot of listeners, we don't have as many listeners, or rather viewers, as the Daily Mail. And Craig Hope put his name to a piece that was basically, if you want to keep the squad chemistry, don't bring Jude. What an utter nonsense that is. I also think, brought to my attention by my England supporting teammate Phil. Phil said, have you noticed how fresh, how vibrant, apart from his shoulder, because he always seems to be rubbing his shoulder, but Bellingham looks and Kane looks. And then he goes, you have Declan Rice, who's played 75 games last season, or I mean, he must have hit 70, right? All competitions? I don't know, but it's right up there.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't Arsenal play 63? I feel like I remember the stat before the Champions League final. I thought they played like 63 or 64 games.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Look at Bellingham and Kane. I think definitely this is the fittest Kane's ever been coming into a tournament.
Yeah.
It feels like that anyway. And, playing in Germany, playing in Spain as well. It's the bottom half of the Spanish league when Real Madrid are playing, even though they have struggled last season. It's not with the same difficulty as playing your Bournemouths, your Brightons, your whoever's. And they just look better for being abroad. I think that is a factor. Like, Rice looked miserable, man. Rice is really struggling with injury. This nerve thing into his hamstring.
Yeah. He's losing feeling, right?
Yeah.
It is interesting to watch Arsenal players kind of moved in shifts, right? Like at halftime, they take off Rice and Madueke to bring on Eze and Saka.
Yeah. It's like we can't give any of these guys full 90 because they've just played so much already. But so just to circle back to the top of the conversation, is this something Tuchel should be keeping in-house? Is this did he need to explode with Gabriel Clark there? Like, is there a method to the madness here? Like, if he goes public with how he's not happy with the performance of the players, do the players take that, internalize it, and go out and play better? Because if they don't do that, then isn't this just something that's better off be said behind closed doors?
I'm torn on this because I, I understand this from Tuchel if this were in league play, more so where we kind of sometimes talk about form over results. Uh, at the business end of a tournament, I always say results over results, results over everything. Results are all that matter.
Yeah.
So, like, we're right at the end here. So if you've got a, if England have shown an ability to be able to win ugly, then maybe that can be used as a positive in
But
some way.
I guess the way Tuchel feels is that's a game to game state.
Well, the
And
problem is the competition will demand that they're going to have to probably play well and win ugly.
yeah, and Tuchel may look at it and think Norway were the first serious opposition we've had so far, like the first really, really tough opposition we've had. I know we've had tough games, but there are better teams now, and now we're running into Argentina in a World Cup semi-final, and that the performance there will matter. We may not, as the gif goes, can't keep getting away with this from Breaking Bad. The game itself, Andrew, and Norway's part in it. Like I definitely think both sides struggled in the conditions. Like that first 20 minutes of the game was hardly engaging up to the water break.
Yeah.
Um,
Norway barely touched the ball,
yeah,
but
and
England
then,
didn't really do anything with it.
no, and it felt after the water break that Norway were better, whatever kind of maybe adjustments. It's hard to get angry at Ståle Solbakken because he's been such a great manager. Like I just want to say Norway have had an unbelievable tournament.
Yeah.
To have Cote d'Ivoire and particularly Brazil not in the knockout rounds beaten and to come out of a tough group like they did with Senegal, France, that's phenomenal. They have been great. But like starting, I don't get why you have to wait so late, or maybe it's that maybe you want to use Alexander Sorloth as some kind of battering ram, and when England have you pummel England for long enough with Sorloth, although they didn't really. But if this is the plan, and then they're nice and soft, and in you bring Oscar Bob and Noosa, I felt like there was a case for either Bob or Noosa to start, because I didn't think Sorloth gave you enough, and on that breakaway, remember
He's got to release the ball for Holland. And
he's-
even if
he's-
he's not comfortable doing like I don't know, I feel like
he's enormous, and he's playing as a winger. It doesn't work. Like you saw him once or twice come up against Nico O'Reilly, and you're like, he's never going to just, jink Nico O'Reilly and get a cross in. He can't do it. Everything's slower when you're that big. Sorloth's a centre forward. Whatever you want to say about him, that's where he plays. To play him on the right side, like a number 9, a 6'5" bulk of a man. I don't get it.
Noosa is one of those players that I come out of this tournament really loving.
Yeah, and he's loved in the Bundesliga. He's thought extremely highly of. So yeah. They had little moments when they came in. Noosa had one where he's trying to replicate the goal he scored against Cote d'Ivoire, where he shifts it onto his right foot, but the shot gets blocked. England defend it well. And when it's not working for Haaland for so long, you felt as if, okay, give him quick little players that maybe can link with him or get crosses in or something. I felt he waited too long to make those changes. I would have started either Bob or Noosa. More than likely I would have started Noosa. But yeah. And then the Schellerup goal was, I don't think he meant it.
So I texted you, and I when I saw it, I was so blown away by it, from like where he took it from, it going in off like where the post and crossbar meet. Like it was such a cool goal. Yeah. The moment was crazy to do that against England in a quarterfinal. It actually didn't dawn on me. So I texted you goal of the tournament, multiple question marks. You later texted me back saying you didn't think he meant it. That didn't dawn on me really until your message. Maybe I should have thought of it sooner. And sure enough, after the game, he didn't come fully out and say it was a cross, but but he hinted at that enough that it was probably a cross and probably was not on purpose.
Oh,
So yeah, I guess that kind of disqualifies it from goal of the tournament, but it was still it was still in terms of individual moment. Oh my God, it's an incredible thing to have scored a goal like that.
it was. And then we've talked about the build up to the Jude Bellingham equalizer, which is just right before halftime. Stola Salbakken is absolutely, he throws his bottle down on the ground and goes under one of the IT guys that was just sat there on the sideline. But we've talked, it's a great goal, it's a great finish. What we haven't talked about is the major controversy. So on the kick out from Nyland, that ball arcs up, has a trajectory as if it's going towards big boy Sorloth, which actually maybe explains now why he's in the team to win flick-ons and headers in that position.
Sure.
It hits the cable of the spider cam cable, and it drops dead. Now it's still good first touch, but it drops almost dead straight down. It stops its what you would call regular trajectory. It looks like the Canadian TV had a side angle of it that I hadn't seen.
Okay.
And it really looks like it clips it and drops.
That was going to be my next question, because up to this point, the only angle I've seen was Fox.
Behind the goal.
Fox is behind the goal angle. And while I'm not saying it didn't happen, I am saying, for me personally, I did find, maybe it was a depth perception of the angle. I found that angle hard to tell that it was definitive. Now the reaction to, I do put some trust in the reaction of those involved, and I don't think people would just react that way for
the Norwegians. Okay,
they wouldn't just do that.
They're not that kind of people. They're not those kind of people. As if we're talking about a country that would go into a 2-footed tackle.
Right. But if you're telling me there's another angle where you can get a better sense of how the ball's movement changes dramatically and suddenly, then that's important.
The BBC have also their own kind of 3D football option that you can go to, and you can see the trajectory of the ball, and it does drop suddenly and quickly. Like it doesn't feel as if it's a normal flight path, uninterrupted flight path. Now, we've seen this in the past. I remember in Germany in 2006, Paul Robinson was taking a kick from his hands, and he absolutely booted it. Was it from his hands or the ground? Doesn't matter. And it smashed the big screen in the middle of, was it Hamburg or which was, I can't remember the stadium.
I don't remember.
Stadium in Germany that had the massive screen, right? Like almost like an American positioning.
I remember the shadow that it would create.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what stadium. Yeah.
Yeah. And he hit the screen, and I think, or he clipped the bottom of that. Like, how hard did he hit that thing? He must have been trying to do it on purpose. He was bored or something. And I think that was England's first game. And so I think the referee it was a drop ball or something. But like Nyland points it out to the referee straight after the goal. He says it's hit the cable.
Yeah.
The people on the sideline, Ståle Solbakken himself said he didn't see it, but that all his people did, and they pointed it out.
So FIFA, in response to this afterwards, sent out this tweet from one of their official accounts, their FIFA media account. Before England's goal in minute 45+2 against Norway, the sensor in the connected ball showed no peak in the heartbeat of the ball when in the air, and therefore no evidence that the ball touched the overhead wire and changed the movement of the ball. So here's my reaction to that. If there's visual evidence, which it sounds like from these other angles there very well may be, then if I'm Croatia, I am filing some sort of lawsuit tomorrow against FIFA for this connected ball technology. And if Norway want to join them, then so be it. But if that is the case, and there is visual evidence, and the connected ball technology doesn't show that evidence, and that's what FIFA is using to make decisions like this, then that technology has to be discontinued ASAP. Then they have to go back to some drawing board. It cannot be used for the semifinal and the final, if that is in fact what they're using to make these decisions, because that is a huge error that in the end may have, emphasis on may, because a lot still happened. But if you want to look at Croatia, where that evidence was used to eliminate them, and you want to look at Norway, where again there was still a whole half to play, so who knows what would have happened or whatever. But that flaws in that technology may have eliminated two teams from a World Cup. That's not a small deal. that's a big deal. If there's visual evidence that supports that, like I'm kind of exaggerating with the file a lawsuit tomorrow, um, but that is wildly unacceptable.
Old litigious Andy is a new one to add to the lexicon.
Lovely.
Yeah, it is. It is. And look, here's where I'm at. It doesn't mean if the goal's ruled out, it doesn't mean that Norway go through. Like it
Right.
doesn't. There was lots of football yet to be played, and but England did not play that well that you would see them. Oh well, Norway will still get blown away anyway. Like the game was super close. It was super tight. We saw Ayer hit the crossbar in the second half.
We saw Kane have a goal narrowly ruled out. We
That's
saw
right.
a near penalty that might have been called against Ezri Konsa that also somewhat heads. I was generally okay with that, but it does look like there's a push from behind on a rebound.
Like
Could have
it
been
does.
looked at.
It
It was
does
close.
matter
You're
if
right. It was all very close.
yeah, it doesn't matter if this thing isn't working if you're going to rely on it. Like, and I honestly, I just look at the way the ball drops, and I look at the way it just looks from the Canadian TV angle. It's like right on the side.
Mhm.
It looks like it hit something. So, yeah, so that's where we're at, and then of course the Norwegian goal that was ruled out, for Haaland's shove on Elliot Anderson. I kind of know where you'll be on this one. Um, like Anderson engages him. It's Haaland. He's bigger and he's stronger. It's before the referee gets it right in the sense that, well, this all happened before the ball came in. But I just think with the amount of grappling we see, the amount of holding, the amount of, I'm letting that go. I'm letting that go.
I was okay with it. I'm guessing that is what you were predicting in your mind. Anderson gives him one. Like
Yeah.
Anderson allows, okay, you can shove me. Like Holland gives him a full shove, and Anderson takes it. But in Anderson's mind, he's probably like, I'm not gonna like. You don't get to keep pushing me. So did Anderson go down easy? I don't even know if I'd say Anderson went down easily. Holland's a big guy, and he pushed him
Yeah.
pretty hard. Like I don't think it's crazy that Anderson went down. He stayed up for the first shove, went down on the second. Kind of, I don't. I mean, it's frustrating in the sense that like Norway are the underdogs, so like you would just generally like the breaks to go the underdogs' way, and in the end, all the breaks kind of went against them. The cable gate, a goal ruled out for like something that's kind of close, but I
So
don't know that I viewed that one as being wrong or
So
controversial.
here's where I'm at with it. And with everyone's going to talk about me factoring in my obvious biases here.
Mhm.
Happened before the ball was kicked, and Haaland didn't. It's not like Haaland ended up putting the ball in the net or even made a play on the ball, as I recall. He didn't get into the scrum. So both players are. It's before the ball is kicked. Both players have no involvement in the actual goal. It's a goal.
But the before the ball is kicked doesn't matter anymore, right? That's the rule where the corner can be retaken if
Yeah,
if
yeah.
there's a foul before it. So
Sure.
so if there is a like before I rule that
But when
out.
the ball is kicked, neither of these guys are involved. Well, one of them is on the floor, and the other one is.
But it
Look,
yeah.
I don't. I get it. Maybe I'm just trying to. I'm looking for some kind of solace here to find where Norway were robbed. Big thing.
You don't
for me.
have to look hard. Don't look further than Cablegate. You got a
Okay.
big one right on a platter.
Okay,
You don't
all
have to
right.
search much for it. That's a pretty big one.
What about the ultimate thing that did decide this game, Andrew? And it's the second semi-final we see decided by just this is goalkeeping 101. This is the kind of stuff these guys in training smother balls like this every single time. Every single time. And both Lamens for Belgium, which we'll get to against Spain, and then Nyland. Just that's the end of the game. It just feels there's something really unsatisfactory about it. Like I'm not saying it's brilliant from Bellingham, Johnny on the spot to have the presence of mind to be the first to get that ball, to know there's hey, if this spills, I'm going to be here. That's brilliant instinct, and it's the killer instinct, and that's what he's had this tournament. But my God, just like
It's it's sad and I hate it. Like I don't want these games to be I want these games to be decided by guys doing extraordinary things, not by guys making mistakes that they're going to have to live with.
yeah,
And Nyland afterwards, you saw, I mean, he was inconsolable.
He's had a great tournament.
I know.
A superb tournament. We shouldn't be. I hate the idea that this is how we're speaking about him right now.
Yeah.
And he made 2 saves in the second half that I thought were really good. Like the double save. Makes the save, parries, pushes out to side, gets up again, and then saves with his chest. Like he's a quality goalkeeper, right? Like he's proven himself to be across this tournament. I just feel just absolutely awful for him.
My last thing on this game, there's been a lot made of the decision to take Holland off when they did for the final 15 minutes.
So what a muscle twinge or something? What was it?
Well, I think I believe so. I'm going to read the quote here from Norway's from Solbakken.
Right.
This is in Yahoo. Hold on, let me try to find it. Solbakken confirmed after the match that he knew Holland was, quote, finished, indicating his replacement was mainly down to him emptying the tank, but revealed that the striker also suffered a dead leg in a clash. I think that was. He says here it was not a tough decision to take him out. Solbakken said he was finished. Maybe I should have taken him out 10 minutes before. He also got a dead leg in the second half, so that combined with the fatigue, he did everything he could. That's a big. You're chasing a goal. I'm
Strand Larsen.
It's easy to say it now. I'm going down. If I'm going down, I'm going down with my best on the field, and I'll live with that. Holland, okay, I don't know.
Here's the derogatory comment: is a dead-legged Erling Braut Haaland, like, is he still a better option than bringing on Jurgen Strand Larsen? I don't know, man. I don't think Haaland didn't kick up any kind of a stink.
I mean, he looked angry on the bench. Like there was a camera shot of him, and he
looked angry,
almost like an angry teenager.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
kind of like his slumped position.
Yeah, no. You're right. You're right. Oh, I would have left him on.
Yeah, me too.
Personally, I would have left him on, but then I wouldn't have started again. I'll go back. I wouldn't have started Sorloth. One other thing, great to see some overturned decisions. The Jed Spence penalty. This stuff is. We're going to see a big example of this stuff. This sticking out a leg and jumping backwards to initiate contact to get penalties. I'm no fan of VAR. I want to go back to the ancient texts.
Yeah.
I really like seeing this stuff get knocked out.
I agree, man. And that's no fault of Jed Spence. He's actually come on and had some really, really bright moments for England when they've used him, including in this game. And he nearly won that penalty, which would have been massive. But I agree. Look, VAR is taking a PR beating in this tournament and for a few years now. But like this stuff gets forgotten quickly. Like I always say, VAR's successes are always outshouted by their failures or perceived failures. I'm with you. Like Jed Spence does all he can to make sure, like it's such an unnatural way to move your leg in a situation like that. You would only do that if you are desperately seeking a penalty. And in real time, I have no problem with the referee giving the penalty in real time. That's very hard to see without the benefit of replay. People don't like it. And maybe people are willing to live with those, but like it's part of the reason we have VAR. That should not be a penalty. The defender gets beaten, and once that happens, I guess you do put yourself in a dangerous position. But like Jed Spence is searching for the penalty there. He's foul hunting in the box, and I don't love that in the game. So I'm happy to see goals like that or penalties like that taken off.
The only moment in the world where humans do that, where you stick your leg out like that, is when you've got your hands full and you're trying to keep a door open for someone.
Good call, yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Anything else, Andrew, on this one?
I mean, you had did you get? I know you mentioned Declan Rice. Was that what you wanted to say? You wanted me to remind you? Was that it?
No. What I wanted to say was like, what I said about the tattered carcass of Declan Rice, left by the roadside by Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta must be freaking out watching his guys like Saka and Rice just being... Stop using them. You've got loads of players. Look how they massacred my boy.
By the way, Thomas Tuchel would be well within his rights to be saying the same thing to Mikel Arteta. What have you left me with here? This is supposed to be like my most important player. You've left me with a shell of this human being for a World Cup. How dare you?
Yeah, he looks like one of the guys in 1917 that's that's shell shocked and they're about to go back out again and they're in the forest singing
Oh, what a
and they're
scene.
just
That's
huddled
such
with
a good movie.
they're just huddled with blankets.
Yeah.
They're in the forest clearing and they're about to go in again, being sent in by a well, on the other side. Tuchel would have been on the other side. Anyway, let's not go down that road. Let's not go down that road. Andrew, why not go to Kansas City?
Well, we'll do that in a sec.
Oh,
Last bit. Props to Norway, like you said, as they go out of this tournament. If I were listing the bright spots from the 2026 World Cup, they are damn near the top of the list, not just for their play on the field, but for all of the everything their fans brought to this tournament as well. And I got to say, long may it continue, and I think it will. They're pretty. I mean, they're a young enough team. Their superstars are in their prime and will be for the at least the next like 6 years, I would say. So yeah, I hope this is the beginning of a fun era for Norwegian football
yeah.
because there had been a large gap for successful tournament appearances for them, and this one was an incredible success, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing them at future tournaments and seeing if they can even build on. I mean, a quarterfinal appearance is an amazing thing. If they can build on it, it'd be incredible.
It's just what a moment for Norwegian football. Absolutely romped in qualifying, which they couldn't do. I mean, they've had Martin Odegaard and Erling Haaland for quite some time now, and this team couldn't put it together. And then they just blitzed UEFA World Cup qualifying. Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. This is a small country. This is a country that has climactic and geographical, what would you say, impediments to being a good football nation. Look at the players they're producing. They're fantastic.
I mean, between them and Bodo Glimt, like Norwegian football is having a moment here.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, well,
we should just call them if we were, the way we done the well-run club in the Premier League.
They're kind of like the Brentford of international football.
Kind of. Except that is
selling them short.
It's not a nice comparison when you look at Ståle Solbakk's big baldy head compared to Keith Andrews' flowing mane of curls.
The Bournemouth? I don't know.
Right.
We'll workshop
they're
it.
a well-run country.
Yeah. Agreed. JJ, let's go now to let's stay on Saturday's slate and go to the nightcap, the 9 p.m. Eastern Time quarterfinal between Argentina and Switzerland. So should be said, like, it's interesting. We talk about with England, what Mikel Arteta left Thomas Tuchel with Declan Rice. I sometimes wonder with some of the Argentinian players if the opposite is true. Like Christian Romero just had such a poor season for Tottenham, and he looks like one of the best defenders in the effing world for Argentina. Alexis McAllister just had such kind of like a whatever blah season for Liverpool. Look what the impact he's making for Argentina. I've got some questions sometimes about some of these Argentina players and where their priorities lie. By the way, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe more players' priorities should be with their national teams. I don't hate that. I kind of would like to see American players maybe sometimes convince me that their priorities are with their national team. So I guess props to them. But like seeing McAllister, he's not rising up for a header early in that game. Yeah, some of these, I don't know, these guys put on that jersey, man. And they're all great players. If you're going to play for Argentina, you have to be. But God, I sometimes feel like these guys find another level when they play for that national team, which is cool. I don't mean to make that sound like a negative. Like I actually think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I came away, the way we said when we were talking about England and we were talking about Nyland's mistake and then Lamin's mistake for Belgium and how unsatisfactory that feels. I had that feeling coming out of this game. I would have loved to have seen this stay at 11v11. I would have Like when Endoy equalizes, that is such a good goal.
Yeah.
I mean, Granit Xhaka seems to just take a stroll through the Argentinian midfield and play it out to the left. Lovely 1-2. Dan Endoy's finish is prime Thierry Henry. It's brilliant. It's a great, great goal. 5 minutes later, then this sending off the red card. It ju- I really I told people that I felt the Swiss were better than a decent team. I think they're cut above that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they, especially an Argentina team that's been through such. I mean, their last two games against Cabo Verde and against Egypt have been so dramatic and exhausting that I thought Switzerland could really take them the distance. But that red card just. Now I don't know. Now I'm not satisfied.
I know. It's one of the great, like, my deal with that red card is like, I like the rule. I just hate what it created in this specific situation. Like, I don't want to let Embolo off the hook here. And by the way, before that incident even happened, I even said to Jack as we were watching, because like he asked me before the game on Switzerland, like who should I be looking out for? He's not super familiar with them, and so I mentioned Embolo as one of the guys. And so as the game was happening, there was one point where I said to him, I was just like, I'm so disappointed in him tonight. He spent the whole game just like arguing and angry and not make like so. I'm not mad that that rule exists. I'm not mad at what the punishment is for it. Like, it's such a shameful dive. It's embarrassing what he does there. So like I don't mind the rule. It's just unfortunate that it did what it did to the game. It's really the only sport where like the punishment for certain things it's just so harsh that it like irreparably changes the course of a game. Like I don't, other than like targeting, I guess in college football, it's like there's nothing to really compare it to. And so I understand why people are so up in arms, but I don't know. I kind of don't feel like anything wrong happened here. Like he did such a dumb thing in diving the way that he did on a yellow.
So Michael Cali tweeted this, and I think this is where a lot of people will be at. I don't really have a problem with either Embolo yellow. I mean, I thought the first one was a yellow.
Yeah.
Both on Paredes. But by the same standard, Argentina should have had between 6 to 14 yellows in the first half, and they had 0.
This is like Paraguay against France.
Yeah. I mean, it's been the refereeing. The application of the refereeing has been so erratic, it's insane. And you're just leaving yourself open to this kind of, well, they want Argentina in the semi, they want Messi further on. And yes, they do want Messi further on. I don't believe there's a conspiracy to get Messi further on, but there is the weight of pressure. It goes back to what we said about the Egypt-Argentina game. Were the roles reversed on the Egypt disallowed goal, Zico's first goal? Were the roles reversed? Is that being called back? If that's the Argentina team that's been, like, if they're being adjudged to foul 70 yards down the field, your gut, your sense, your feeling, the atmosphere tells you, no, it's not. And all this stuff builds. And I hate it because I don't really have a problem with either Embolo. Like, both Embolo yellows are to the letter of the law, in my view. I just wish he hadn't booked Paredes so we could just get on with the game. If he doesn't book Paredes,
then nothing happens.
Then nothing happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know. I'm not really mad at anyone.
I'm mad at
Embolo is the guy to be mad at. Like, if we're going to choose someone to be mad at here, like, he does a really dumb thing and put himself at unnecessary risk. I don't know why he did that there. I guess because his touch, the ball was it going out of play? I'd have to look at the replay again. But it's such a blatant dive. I hate that it changed the state of the game in the way that it did. That's
sticking that leg out just to get the contact, and then it's pure simulation.
Like, it has, like, we don't want that stuff in the game, and like I don't want, like, but a guy got a yellow card there who shouldn't have, and so like the rule we saw right before us in real time why this rule exists. It would have been wrong for Paredes to have to play the rest of that game on a yellow. He didn't do anything. And so like this is why the rule exists.
But we're in this moment, right? And here's me just again, maybe I'm being a brat because I want things to be the way that. But we're in this moment where the Swiss are carrying a threat here.
I know this happened.
The
It happened
Argentinians.
2 minutes after they scored this
Yeah.
incident. Now it took 3 minutes for the review, so 5 minutes later he was sent off. But it was 2 minutes after their goal.
By the way, was I eating crazy pills or something? Did the commentary team say around the 81st or 83rd minute that Argentina have only had 3 shots since the McAllister goal or something like that?
I don't remember.
I can't. But it just anyway. I know after they went down to 10 men, obviously Argentina poured it on Switzerland. They really went after the game, but like it felt like it was there for Switzerland to create an upset or for there to be like a dramatic game that goes the full distance. And I just hate that was taken away from us.
I
It just unbalances everything. And it is stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. And Switzerland are already without, for me, their most dangerous player this tournament when he's been available in Manzambi. So like it's just I'm frustrated by the game. I was frustrated. I was not frustrated by the Julian Alvarez winner, Andrew. Just like I said already, the way that he just catches it, it's fabulous. What a fabulous goal. And amazing for Argentina to muster some magic when for once Messi couldn't. He had remember that one where he whizzed it past the post?
Yeah.
Got it out of his feet quickly and he kind of hit it falling over and it just shot past the post. But yeah.
Yeah. And Kobel made some great saves for Switzerland to keep them in it. Was it Lisandro Martinez who had like what would have been an amazing kind of side volley laid on that Kobel through a series of bodies had to get down to palm away.
Yeah, that was a good save. And also the last ditch tackle on Alexis McAllister on the header. If he gets it, where who was it kept it in play? I can't remember who kept it in play, but they were stretching on the end line, shoots back across the box, and McAllister. If there isn't an intervention there by a Swiss boot, McAllister bullets the header home. It was an amazing last ditch tackle. You can tell I still enjoyed the game. Like, don't get me wrong, it was
Sure. It was very exciting, but it did leave us. There is an empty feeling when a game, like right away, the Ndoye goal was so exciting. I don't know. I just didn't think that Switzerland had enough in attack that they would be able to break through Argentina. And so when it happened, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, how will Argentina respond to this? And so for the red card to happen so quickly after that over something like we accept red cards in situations where leg breakers, dangerous plays, things like that. This is a very frustrating way for someone to be sent off, but I don't see it as particularly controversial. I think Embolo made a huge mistake, and he paid dearly for it, and that's unfortunate, and it ruined a lot of our viewing experience. But I don't know what, other than us just wishing he hadn't done it. Like people are so mad about this result. I don't know. I don't see it as hugely controversial, I guess, in the way a lot of people do.
No.
But Argentina, they added the third, Thiago Almada with a great run through Swiss defense. His shot gets blocked by Kobel, but Lautaro Martinez is there to finish it off. And they get that insurance goal, 3-1. They go through. Boy, they've made this all very difficult. They've also made it very exciting. I mean, this has become a really memorable run for them. They're going to run into England now. And I mean, before you talk about England and they can't keep getting away with this meme, is who's that more true for, them or Argentina? This will be they can't keep getting away with this cup, whoever wins this game.
Yeah, take your pick there. It's going to be oh my God, the history, guys.
In terms of intercontinental rivalries, this is probably the best in the game.
Well, they had the battle when they met each other in 1966. Then there's the Falklands War. Then they meet in 86 in the quarterfinal with the hand of God / greatest goal we've ever seen game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on to like
Beckham's
1998, Beckham's Red. 2002, the Rewenge, the revenge game where Beckham scores that pretty lucky penalty. Actually, the way he hits it is, ooh. And that's the 1-0, and Argentina are knocked out in the group. So that. And then, yeah, there's just so much history between the two teams. Like, it's massive. And I guess, like, it's kind of fitting Messi gets an England game, right?
He's never played them.
No. Like
Yeah.
a big World Cup semi-final. A World Cup semi-final with England versus Argentina feels like a FIFA simulation. Like, and when that's right. That's what you want. Like, you're playing the video game. These are two teams you'd want against each other. The weight of the history is enormous. I God, I don't know. I don't know which way this will go.
I've reached a level with Argentina where I feel like I'm gonna just keep picking them. Other than I'm gonna pick France to win the whole thing, as I have from day one. But until then, I'm just gonna keep picking Argentina until I'm proven wrong. I just feel like they find a way. Um, I'm gonna pick them to win that game. I'm sure it'll. My guess is it will be very tight. Could be penalties. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep picking them.
So those of us, if you want me to report live from the England hating fraternity, those of us who really want them to be knocked out, like, we don't want them. We get nervous around the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Quarterfinal is as far as we want them to go. Like, some Irish people are like, wouldn't it be great if they went to a final and then they got hammered?
You,
I'm
you
like,
can't
no,
mess around with that.
you can't mess around with that. That's that's crazy talk. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know a single Tottenham fan that was excited when Arsenal got to the final of the Champions League. Like, you can't take that risk.
so I had my Norway jersey on yesterday, and I had my Mexico jersey on the game before, and so that was pointed out to me by my German friend. He goes, "You have you have the opposition jersey for every game." I'm like, "Yes, yes, I do."
Do you
So
have an Argentina one?
I have two Boca Juniors.
Okay.
Can I wear those? I suppose I can. I have a T-shirt that just talks about the 1978 World Cup final. So it's Argentina and the
Okay.
78 World Cup final, and it's
Yeah.
it's kind of got like this image of Kempes on it.
Okay.
I guess that works.
Yeah, that does the trick.
I'm trying to think. Do I have an actual Argentina jersey? I'll have to look.
All right.
Nervy times.
Good
Andrew.
luck. Finally, JJ, let's go now. We did France Morocco on our previous podcast, so if you missed that one by any chance, you should definitely get over to our last free pod where we talked about that game and did a massive USMNT mailbag, which was cathartic, therapeutic, and fascinating to just kind of go through and get a sense of where everybody's head was at. But yeah, so. To round out the semifinal to come on Tuesday at AT&T Stadium, it will be France and Spain in the game. I think a lot of people wanted this game. I think a lot of people wanted this game in the final. France are viewed. I don't care what, I know this. The semifinals, the quarterfinals have yielded to us the top 4 teams in the world in terms of their ranking. I don't think France. I think are Argentina still one? I don't know. France are the best team in the world. All right. I don't care what the rankings say. France are the best team in the world, and Spain are the reigning European champions. This is a dream matchup. It's a dream matchup, and I'm glad that we're getting it. And it will happen in the semis after Spain narrowly again. They get through. They do so against Belgium. 2-1. Is the final there. Goals from Fabian Ruiz and then Charles de Ketelaere popping up again, and then Mikel Merino in the 88th. JJ Mikel Merino, he has 3 goals for Spain at major tournaments. Euro 24 against Germany in the 119th to win it. World Cup 26 against Portugal in 90+1 to win it. World Cup 26 against Belgium in the 88th to win it. I was trying to think in my head, who is this man? Where do I know him from? He's Robert Horry. He's soccer Robert Horry. Horry, never the star, but a 20-minute long YouTube highlight reel of massive threes in NBA championships.
Yeah.
Mikel Merino is good. Definitely good. If you're going to be on Spain, you got to be. He doesn't really start for them. He doesn't really start for Arsenal. No one really knows what position he is, which is sometimes a good thing for him because it gets him on the field. But the catalog of huge goals that he has put together in his career is astounding. I think he now becomes the first player in World Cup history to score, is it game-winning goals? I forget from what minute on in multiple knockout stage matches. It's incredible that Spain sort of have this weird ace in the hole off the bench that can play so few minutes across this tournament, but have made such a truly amazing impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe my nonsense about him starting him centre forward is to miss the point that he's better to come off the bench when you need him like that for these cameos, and let Oyarzabal start in that more central position. So Spain won the XG relatively handsomely, 2.38 to 0.43 for Belgium. But I thought Belgium put in a battling performance. I thought their equalising goal was class. The Kettler goal set up a lovely little incisive pass by Kevin De Bruyne. I thought Belgium really did well, considering Tielemans right before kickoff out. Blow after blow for this team in terms of injuries. Onana on the sideline. Hey, what a great guy. This guy, he should be off really getting surgery as soon as possible to get back on the field, and he's there on the sideline with a brace watching his team. I love it. I'm not sure how much.
I mean, I feel bad for those guys. This is brutal for Aston Villa.
Oh, it's brutal for Villa.
Onana and Tielemans in back-to-back games. I don't know the extent of Tielemans' injury, but oh man.
Yeah, if it's enough for him to get injured in the warm-up and he's out, it could be, we don't know what it is.
And it's obviously it was terrible for Belgium. He's been so big for them.
Yeah. But it's decisions, it's moments, and Courtois was doing a good job. Well, first of all, I want to say that one of the performances of the game, I thought, was the kid Sace they brought on from Club Brugge that came into mark, literally man-mark Lamine Yamal, go up. I thought he did great, Andrew.
Yeah.
I thought he did really well. And limited as much as you can limit a genius, he limited him a lot. And I thought Belgium, you know what? They'll probably go out at some point in the 120 in the extra time. But they deserve that right to go that distance. And Rudi Garcia decides when Courtois goes down. So Courtois makes a save at his left-hand post and he goes down. But I think this had been bugging him already because I don't think it came from the save. He felt as if a twinge in his thigh or his hip when he was hitting the long ball, the kick out, the goal kick. And now Rudi Garcia is coming in for serious abuse because he's substituted him. But Courtois told him just have someone else take the goal kicks, that he couldn't do it, but he was fine to do everything else. It does take, your quad muscle is your big one that you feel on those goal kicks when you're driving it long, when you're pinging it. So if that isn't right, then yeah, it is quite painful and it's difficult to hit the ball. Rudi Garcia said, this is pretty strident. Since the start of the World Cup, I've said only players who are 100% physically fit are allowed to play. That applies to Thibaut as well. Thibaut. We needed his long balls, first to Charles, then to Romelu. We didn't want Thibaut's injury to get worse, so I have no regrets about the decision to substitute him. No regrets? Now, I was the very man.
Should I read Courtois' his quote?
Yeah, you should, in fairness.
So he said about the decision for him to come out. Ultimately, the team comes first. I can understand it because Sané is a good goalkeeper. I was willing to stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes as long as I didn't have to kick the ball very far. I've had to do that a lot in recent weeks. At a certain point, your body has had enough of it. Seems a little bit of shade towards Rudi Garcia.
Yeah.
I was willing to stay on. I had this, I've been doing a lot of. Is he complaining there about all the long kicks that he's had to do? I can't quite tell. If he's almost blaming Garcia for aggravating this injury in him, I don't know. That might be. I can't tell. But he does say here, I was willing to stay on the whole for another 5 to 10 minutes. That part of it is weird. I don't know what Courtois is trying to say in this. If he's trying to be a good team player while also trying to let everyone know I did not need to come out of this game.
Here's what I said. And let's let the group text. Let the group text hang me. because I was a similar mind of Rudi Garcia. And in the group text, I said, big blow to lose Courtois, but let's be honest, this is the Manchester United #1 keeper coming on after a great season. And he does that. It's the first shot he had to deal with from Kubarsi. That was, like, that's the first time he had to dive, I think. And I feel so bad for him. Man United, I don't care. I feel terrible for him. Awful. And that's the game. That's the game.
Yeah, Merino smells blood. Like he's similarly with Bellingham. Like there is something to a player's instincts, and Merino reads the play and understands that I got to be ready for this in case the ball comes off of him, which it does. And that's it. That's your tournament. It's brutal. Ultimately, if you're Rudi Garcia, look, this is why coaches make the money that they make. You know, a lot of times maybe they don't have to do a lot, but in these moments, like, you can decide potentially the fate of a tournament.
Yeah.
He's got to quickly weigh the difference between Courtois on one leg, maybe the greatest goalkeeper in the world currently playing on one leg, versus, like you say, Manchester United's #1 who is fully healthy. I don't think I can kill him for that decision. It's easy to, and my guess is, I haven't seen the reaction to it. My guess is most people probably are. Courtois didn't really do him any favors by saying he said I could stay on. I told him I could stay on. That's not helping.
Do you think Courtois should have fallen on his sword and just said, "Yeah, guys, I think it was the right decision to take me out. I felt something. You know, you want to do the best thing for your team, and we all believe in Sene Lammens."
I think he should have emphasized that more.
Yeah,
I think he should have emphasized. He doesn't need to say anything. You know, my injury. I don't know. You know, he find a way to kind of blow past that and just say Sene is a great goalkeeper, and we have all the faith in him in the world. I don't know. Deflect. Like, I think when you go out of your way to say that you said I thought I could stay on. Again, 5 to 10 minutes. So what does that do? This happened in the 70th minute. So we'll just make this. I don't fully understand that. My point is, I don't think I blame Rudi Garcia. I think he was in an impossibly difficult situation, and sadly, it's one of the all-time backfires. So I can't sit here and say if he had to do it all over again, he should do it again. No. That would be foolish. If he had to do it all over again, you keep in Courtois, because we saw the result with Lammens. Maybe we're not giving enough credit to, okay, Sene Lammens is a really good goalkeeper. United's #1, had a great season. Your first World Cup action as a goalkeeper to come in the 70th minute or so of a knockout stage match against Spain, that might just be an extremely difficult position to put someone in. The pressure of not being able to work your way into a game, you're just suddenly thrown into it in that way. Maybe the pressure was too much for him to take in that situation. I don't know. It sucks. I hate that the game ended that way, just like I hate that the Norway game ended that way.
Courtois being a bit of a me guy here as well. It would be good to take a year-long break from the Nations League so I can find some rest. Then I can keep goal for the Euro qualifiers and the European Championships again. It's up to the national coach and the federation to make a choice. If they see it differently than I do, perhaps this was my last match. Now, this is a guy who fell out with Tedesco and basically withdrew from the squad. I don't love that, you know?
Look, he's done with...
Does Garcia survive this now is the question. Like, have they had a good enough of a World Cup? The comeback against Senegal, smashing New Zealand, smashing the US, all that went around that game, overcoming that, if you want to call it adversity. In the end, it wasn't. It was an easy win. Has he done enough now to get... Because Euro 2028 is just around the corner. So, has he done enough, I wonder? I'm not sure. It's kind of...
I don't know. That's a tough one. I honestly don't know. You know, with regards to Belgium, I know this is probably like the third time we've said, and so ends Belgium's golden generation. I guess it's been kind of...
I think they've enough. Okay, so like, I think they have enough players to consider themselves, we could be all right. We could be okay. Like the vibes from the what would you say from the New Zealand game? Oh, okay. The vibes midway through against Senegal were rock bottom, I'm sure. But
Right.
like,
No, they were I thought they were spectacular against New Zealand. They showed an incredible amount of grit and heart to come back against Senegal. They demolished the home nation, the United States, in the face of
yeah,
weird political tension, and
yeah.
I mean, that was a triumph.
They
And
got a center forward to start firing in De Ketelaere.
and against Spain, who are the reigning European champions, they nearly beat them with Courtois suffering an injury, De Bruyne being taken off injured, uh, Tielemans having to leave pre-match in the warm-ups with an injury, and Amadou Onana one match earlier tearing his ACL. And they nearly beat Spain.
Maybe don't change anything.
Maybe.
Maybe let Garcia go at it for 2028.
Weird era for Belgium. There's like it's a strange thing, man, because there's going to be this feeling that if again, the reason I say that this, I still kind of viewed this a little bit as the golden generation, just because De Bruyne, Lukaku, Courtois, they all still have an important presence with the team, and those are kind of, other than like Eden Hazard, I feel like those are sort of like the main characters of this era for them. Obviously, there were other very important pieces, but those guys were so huge. Um, you know, people see it as a failure. I don't know. I don't know exactly what everyone wanted from them. Like they weren't that good, really. Like they were never really a serious contender in the recent past. Like, from I know they got out of the group a few times, and that's good. But they didn't qualify for Germany '06. They didn't qualify for South Africa 2010. Like they were kind of starting from zero.
Mm.
And when it's all, if like they'll continue to be good just because one generation is over. I think Belgium are here to stay in terms of like a really good footballing
Their club
nation.
system is still producing players.
Definitely. Like I still like guys coming, like Doku is young. Yeah, like they're going to be good. Definitely. No question about it. Um, but like for Belgium, I don't know if I quite see it as a failure of an era. Got to a quarterfinals in 2014, got to the semifinals in 2018. 22 was obviously a bad, that was bad. But then they kind of, when that everyone thought that was the curtain coming down, then they sort of found it again and got to another quarterfinals. Got one last gasp out of this group. I don't know. Did people need them to reach a final? Is that asking? Like,
So
I know that they were
they
very
finished
talented,
third.
but
They finished third in 2018. I
yeah.
think
What, like,
like
I'm
that
just wondering what it was people needed from them that
that
they
was the
didn't get
peak of
here.
their that was the peak of their powers because they had Eden Hazard. Here's one thing we didn't really factor in. Eden Hazard fell off a cliff,
Mhm.
went to Real Madrid, and pretty much ended his career. And I think like losing that player, De Bruyne's injuries and decline as well, and also De Bruyne in the years around 20, 21, 22 was playing when he wasn't injured a phenomenal amount of important football with Manchester City, excuse me,
Mhm.
and so therefore you felt those 2 years like wouldn't you thought okay, so it doesn't really matter what I think of the semi final in 2018. I think that Belgium played within themselves and should have done more against that French team. That's a personal opinion.
Okay.
But that was still a good World Cup. What happened then was that they were terrible in 22. I think that's the thing. Like, oh, everyone's 4 years older. The golden generation is beginning to get a little rusty. Okay, fair enough. But like, there does feel like there's unfinished business with that team didn't do what it could have done.
If
Like,
if you reversed the results for what they did at this tournament with what they did at 22, I bet people would stomach it a little easier.
yeah, but we're forgetting the European Championships
No,
as
I know
well.
they made two quarterfinal appearances in 16 and 20 or
That
21
that feels like failure.
to not have
16,
gotten to a semifinal.
16 they lost to Wales. That
Yeah.
was a failure, and that was under our dear friend, who I mean, Jesus, like when you think of all the things you said about their manager at that point, it was incredible. You had a personal, I think it was every other week, me and you were slagging him off. That felt squandered. So maybe it's not just Roberto Martinez involved. And then yeah, like when you see the players they had, and you see Italy go and win the Euros in 21, and Belgium are just they're out early. Like it does feel a little bit weird. To me, I think there should have been a Euros win in there. Like, how can
A
Portugal
Euro win.
a Euros win, hoist that thing? Portugal won it in 2016. Who had the better? Like, who had the better squad at that point? The
Yeah, I hear you.
Belgians.
I'm just, I guess you're right. If you
Best
factor
defense,
in Euros,
best midfield, and one of the best attacks in Europe at that time, and they didn't get it done.
no, yeah, they went out in 2020 or 21 to Italy in the quarters. Who Italy did go on to win it. I'm trying to yeah.
But like Italy started that tournament ripping through the group, and then every game after that, you felt a little less confident about Italy, and in the end, they just got over the line against the English, which was an English failure in and of itself. If we want to go back and analyze it, anyway.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just mainly because like they did not qualify for a Euros basically from '88 through 2012. They qualified one for the 2001 when they were hosts, co-hosts with the Netherlands, and they went out in the group stage. Like I said, they didn't qualify for a World Cup in '06. In 10, like it was a like I said, they were starting from zero, and other than 2022, they were always getting out of groups. They were always winning a knockout stage match, pretty much. Um, and they got to a semifinal of a World Cup.
Maybe for the size of the
It's
country.
tricky.
Yeah, look, and they finished third. What, didn't they finish third in the world in '86? And then they went out in the second round against England in 1990. So maybe the lesson we learned from these countries of this size, with the exceptions of a few like Croatia, it's hard to keep going back to back, and it's super competitive at that level when you get into that last 8 or that last 16, and it's like maybe it's not a thing where Belgium can be a power of tournament, back to back tournaments, and maybe that's where we are with them. As for Spain,
Yeah.
I still think there's more to come from them. I love that Nico Williams got minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I still want them to be more of the 2024 version minus Morata. Like I think they need to be that, and that's why it would still. There's a part of me, the pervert in me, would be like, go on, play Mikel Merino at centre forward, just do it, and have Dani Olmo in behind him. And the back of your midfield is pretty great with Rodri. You've got a solid enough defense. I feel as if there's more to come from the Yamal, way more. We know
Definitely.
that. And if Nico Williams starts firing, then maybe their tournament starts now against. Maybe they can really push France hard.
Good luck. They haven't looked great, and France, like I said, I'm adamant. It's one of the best teams I've ever seen in international football. But every game is its own season in a tournament. So you're right.
That's really prophetic.
Thank you.
That was really good.
Thank you. Every once in a while. So look, I picked France. Like, I just wonder, is this a situation where we're just going to keep waiting forever to see the best version of this Spain team? We might just not have it in this tournament, and maybe them getting to a semifinal is squeezing the most that they could out of this specific run. They're running into an absolute giant here, and if they're going to find it, it's got to happen now, because I don't think they can squeak by in this one with a late Merino bad bounce off a goalkeeper. They're going to have to play legitimately good soccer to win this.
That's Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
The first of the semifinals, France v Spain from Jerry World. And then Wednesday, 3 p.m., England, Argentina from Atlanta, where England will feel quite at home in the climate-controlled Atlanta.
Yeah, both stadiums.
Where they beat DR Congo. So
there will be no weather in either stadium for the semifinals. So I guess my last question to round all this up, ahead of the semifinals. This was the tournament of the underdog, 48 team, expanded field, lots of small nations, bunch of nations getting in for the first time. Small nations going on runs, winning games that we wouldn't have expected, getting results that we wouldn't have expected. In the end, the tournament of the underdog has left us with the first ever World Cup in which the world's top 4 teams all reach the semifinal.
Yeah.
It turns out to be the chalkiest World Cup ever in the World Cup of the underdog.
Yeah.
Do you like this, or is it too chalky? I'm curious where you stand.
At this point, I'm fine. Like I don't worry about, like, I let the tournament play out, and then the teams that are in the, I'm not one of those purists who got upset when Greece got to the final in like 2004 for the Euros. Like I don't, that stuff doesn't concern me. I want to see good games. And now that we've got England, Argentina, stone classic international rivalry, and France versus Spain, and a rivalry of it in its own way, great European set. Like it's great. It's great. I don't care that they happen to be the top ranked sides. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need Cabo Verde to be in the semi-final for me to be like all moist-eyed about a World Cup. I don't need that.
This Final Four is unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
It is unbelievable. And if you are somebody out there who is finding your enjoyment of it in some way impacted because a smaller country, be it Switzerland or Norway, did not, you could have wanted them to win. That's fine. But if you're a pure neutral and you're mad about what we've been left with here, I can't help you. This is, I mean, like think of these teams are so good. The storylines are everywhere. The superstars are absolutely everywhere with every angle imaginable. It's just, this is like top soccer theater. I can't wait. I love watching underdogs do their thing. And by all means, if Norway had won, like we would have still been left with an amazing Final Four. But England, Argentina, France, Spain, this is top notch, man.
It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Should be great. It should be great. Do you have anything else?
I have something.
Uh-oh.
But it's about Ronaldo, and I kind of want to save it.
Oh my God.
The Portuguese FA have done the funniest thing ever. They've appointed Jorge Jesus, who is a sprightly 71 years of age, to be the next manager of Portugal. Who is he? Well, he's a journeyman manager. He's been absolutely everywhere across the planet. His last job was as coach of Al Nasser in the Saudi Premier League, where just this season past, he won the Saudi Pro League with Ronaldo. So guys, Ronaldo said it's his last World Cup, but I think we're going to see him striding out 2 years' time, aged almost 44.
Do you really think?
43 in the Euros. This appointment makes no sense to me. None whatsoever. I am flabbergasted. Yeah. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. He's he's got an unbelievable CV. He's managed everyone in Portuguese football and a couple of teams in Brazil and Turkey.
Be honest with me. You secretly love this.
Oh, it's hilarious.
But I'm saying, like,
so
you want
funny.
this Ronaldo playing for Portugal at this stage in his career. This gives you life. This sustains you. This is fuel for you.
I've moved from like being angered by it. Like I had this kind of self-righteousness, like, what about Vitinha? What are you doing to the best years of his career? Bruno Fernandes might never be at another World Cup. All this kind of stuff, like about the players that I really like, and Nuno Mendes and all these guys. To kind of like, it's funny. It's funny how one man can be bigger than an entire country and can just like bully them into. It's like the kid who wants to play house and won't let anybody else play anything else. It's his house, it's his rules, his imagination, whatever he wants to dream of, that's what's happening. And it's bizarre and phenomenal, and it's ripe for parody. There we are.
JJ, that's about all I got. There was a lot here. The games delivered. The storylines were crazy. Controversies, cables on cameras impacting tournament winners. It's unreal. Who knows what we're in for next in these unbelievable semifinals that we have been delivered, but I do know that we will be here talking about it when they conclude midweek. JJ, I enjoyed this immensely. To you, I say...
Check you later, fun boy.
See ya.
Take care.
You've been listening to the Caught Offside Soccer Podcast.